Hi everybody, welcome to Campground Cuisine. I'm Cindy and thank you for visiting my channel. Everybody, I am at Lake Greenwood State Park in South Carolina. I've got this fantastic lakeside spot. I'm hanging out with some butterflies. We're having a big time. We had an incredible night last night. We did a potluck. I've never seen so many great recipes, ribs, salads, pastas, slaws. It was everything. But you know what we didn't have? We didn't have dessert, unless you count Cheryl's vanilla wafers, and I don't think we should do that. So tonight I'm going to make sure that we have a scrumptious, that's a real word, dessert, and it's going to be a peach cobbler, peach dump cake to many people, but I like to pretend like I'm making cobbler when I do this. And y'all, I'm going to be using coals today. So on the coals I have a chart that is going to be something that you can refer to in terms of how many coals generate what type of temperature, because you don't just put the cast iron Dutch oven on the coals, you also put the lid on it and we put the coals on top. So there actually is kind of a formula that lets you know how many coals you need to get a certain temperature. And by the way, that's not a perfect formula because right now it's super windy and nice and cool for a June afternoon, but if it's super hot and kind of quiet, you may not need as many coals as I'm going to be using today. But that chart will be available at the end of this video, so stick around to check it out. So let's start putting this together. This is a 5-quart cast iron Dutch oven. I have little balls of aluminum foil down in the bottom, which is going to create some space between the food and the heat. That's so we don't burn this, because again, it is being placed on top of the coals. I've also put a sheet of parchment paper, and that is for me, because when the parchment paper goes down, I don't have to clean the cast iron Dutch oven. It doesn't get dirty. So who wants to be cleaning all that syrupy, sugary stuff? We want that in our belly, not in the pot. So let's get started. This is a Simply pie filling topping. This is from our best friend Walmart. You can get any kind of pie filling you want, whether it's blueberry, apple, cherry, whatever. I love peach cobbler, peach cake, peach flavors, so I'm going to be doing peaches. Now in the past I've only used one can, and I found that just wasn't enough. And with these characters I'm hanging out with this weekend, I gotta have enough. So I'm going to put 2 whole cans of this peach pie filling, 2 whole cans. All right, we're going to get this on the bottom here. Oh, it just glopped down in there. It sounded so good. This is nice and thick. Oh yeah. Okay, now all you got to do is get a cake mix. Now I like using white cake mix. You can use yellow or whatever, but it needs to be an unflavored cake mix. And I have in the past, when I used only one of the pie filling cans, I decided maybe I should only use half of the bag of mix. But since I used 2 cans, we're going big. We're going all in. So let's just dust this. We're not having to mix. We're just going to dust this on top. There's Scout the Wonder Dog. He's guarding the site because he knows everybody's starting to walk over to see what's going on. Yep, there they are. And we got this whole thing on here. Now I am going to spread this out. Doesn't have to be compact. I just want to spread it out nice and even. So I'm going to lift this up and show you. Lots of the mix on top. And we got this parchment paper. All right. Now, I did not use quite the whole bag. I'm going to dump a little bit more on here. Now what we're going to do is get this stick of butter, and I got this stick of butter to soften while we were hanging out today. So you can use margarine or real butter, it doesn't really matter, but you just cut this up and layer it on top of the mix, because what's going to happen here is sheer magic. While this lid is down, this butter and the sugary, gooey part of the peach pie filling are going to come together to make this magical cake topping or cobbler topping. So We're just gonna plop this down, nothing really special. Just make sure you got butter in all kinds of sections because they're gonna meet together as this melts. So we're just gonna get it nice and even all the way around. Y'all, I love peach cobbler. My friend makes it. She taught me that classic recipe of a cup of milk, a cup of sugar, a cup of self-rising flour, and that's super when you're home. But when you're at the campground, you can't be carrying around all those ingredients. So this dump cake is the perfect way to have a dessert that isn't s'mores, because s'mores are great, but sometime, you'll want more. Okay, so let's keep on putting this butter down. Oh, it's good. I'm loving it. And finally, the last piece. And so I'm going to show my camera friend here this big old bowl. Are you seeing it real good, camera friend? All right, so you see that butter's on there. So we're going to shake that out. So I've got my coals starting to cook. We're gonna check on this every now and then just by simply lifting the lid real carefully and see what's happening. And y'all, when this is gonna be ready, you are going to die at how good it looks, and we're gonna die at how good it tastes. So we're gonna see you in a little bit. Thanks for hanging out with me on Campground Cuisine. Okay, so you can see we got some white hot coals here. So that is the bed that the cast iron is going to sit on, and then I'll show you in just a second how we're going to handle the coals on top. Okay, so we got the coals ready to go. So I got the cast iron. We're going to set it right on that bed. And now I'm going to reach down and get a lot of these white coals here and put it directly on top of the cast iron top, right? And the fire's still going around it. These are cooking, but they are white hot. And we're going to put several on here. Like I said, I'm going to have that chart for you to get you the temperature, but I'm just kind of playing it by ear. But lots of people like recipes and knowing exactly what to do. But this is about the third time I've done this, so I kind of got a good vibe, feel on how to get this hot. That's only hot on one side, and we got a couple here. We're just going to get on top that aren't quite ready, but we're ready to get this started. And that's not ready. Let's see, here's one. Okay, and I think there's one on this side right here. And I think that's a good start. Now what I'm gonna do, y'all, something I came up with. I've got this aluminum foil circle like a donut, and the lid is gonna go right through there. And what that's gonna do is keep that heat kind of radiating down rather than rising up, okay? So we keep that heat radiating down, but when it's time for me to check, I'll still be able to stick my grabber here, my tongs, into that handle and lift it up using this because it's so hot once those coals get on there. So this is gonna cook for a little bit. I'm gonna turn it about every 10 minutes or so. This could be ready in 37 minutes. Yeah, that's a crazy number, but I bet you it's 37 minutes. So let's check it out and we'll see you in a little bit. So we're gonna check on this real quick, and we're gonna just lift up the lid, put it over here on the side. So you can see it's a bubbling, bubbling, bubbling. It's cooking. So we're gonna have this ready in about, I'd say another 20 minutes or so. So we'll put the lid back on, get it nice and tight, and get those coals back to doing their thing. Okay? All right, awesome. Ooh, that heat when I lifted up that aluminum foil. Wow. Okay, we're gonna get everything close to the middle, nice and even, and then put the aluminum foil back on. There we go. We'll be back. It's only been about 28-ish minutes since we started this, but y'all, my coals were hot and I had a bunch of them, and I didn't have that chart with me, so I had to eyeball it. But we're gonna go ahead and open this up and see how it looks, because like I said, it's been about 28 minutes. So I wanted you to get a good idea of what we're looking at. Oh my gosh. Y'all, this is golden brown. That looks delicious. Camera friend, are they seeing this?
Oh yeah, they're
Oh
seeing
yeah,
it.
oh yeah. I think we're done. If we go any longer, I think it'll be too dry. So we're just gonna put this lid over here on the side, let this kind of cool, because we're gonna start having dinner in just a little bit. And by the time this is cool enough to put in there without burning your mouth like the Pizza Hut pizza when you were a kid, you're gonna be so excited if you can get one of these at your campground. Y'all, this is easy. You're just gonna be hanging out anyway. So get the kids involved, get the family involved, have some fun with a Dutch oven. Just a reminder, I got this Dutch oven at Academy Sports about, I'd say in April, and it was $18.99 for a 5-quart cast iron Dutch oven. I'm sure they still have them. It's early June. I hope you go and get you one of those. I hope you make yourself a peach cobbler dump cake, and I hope you get you some campground cuisine. All right, the cobbler dump cake has been distributed. We got some with whipped cream. It's hiding somewhere under there.
Yes, and it's
we got some naked up here.
Naked.
Oh yeah. We have an empty plate, which is a hint to me.
So good.
So good. Oh yeah, we got some of that good on there. We're coming over here. She already had hers. She wasn't playing. Oh yeah. All right, y'all. We're wrapping up our camp out with a big celebration. Look at this evening. And we got some treats. Thanks for watching the whole episode. I hope you had some fun and learned how to make a great treat for you and your family at the campground. All right, y'all, have fun and come and get you some campground cuisine.